Peace and blessings, Mishpachah. May the Most High bless you. This is Yom Arba'ah or Yom Arbi'i, if you want to say the fourth day or day 4. May the Most High bless you, and may He have blessed you all the day long to bring you to this place where you are now. Hey, I'm Malki Uriel, and we're going to be talking about Genesis 1. We're going to have a good time doing it. We're going to bring out some things that it's not so important that I bring out something that you've never heard before. It's important that you learn and that you be edified and that you be strengthened and that you draw closer to the Most High. We're going to talk. It's going to be good. Be right back.
Malkia Uriel. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down, to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant.
And we are back. This is the moment where we magnify the Most High, where we lift up our hearts and our souls unto Him, and where we actually address Him, where we out of all that we've been through today, we just pull off all of the old, all of the exterior, all of the secular, if you will, and we allow ourselves to open our hearts and to then allow our hearts to reach up to the Most High and to connect with Him. And let's do that right now. Baruch ataya o ataya dashe anaknu ha'am shalabrit shalek ata hakol bishbelanu ya Baruch ata. Blessed are you, O Most High. Blessed are you, our Elohim. Blessed are you. You know that we love you with all of our hearts, and as well, you know that we are the people of your covenant. It is because of you that we are the righteous. It is because of you. And we thank you, we praise you, we give unto you all the glory and the honor that is due your name. We say that there is no other Elohim but you. There is no other Elohim. There is no other Elohim but you. And we acknowledge you, and we thank you now for bringing us to this place, a place of peace, a place of comfort, a place where we can grow, a place where we can edify one another, a place where we can meet family together, a place where we can meet you and share you amongst others. We delight in you. We honor you in all things. We say, forgive us. Lakalanu ki hate gam racham lanu ya'o. Forgive us and have mercy upon us, we ask. In your name alone, Yah. Baruch atah b'kol devarim. Blessed are you in all things. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. We seem to have just a little bit of, I'm hearing just a little bit of static, and I hope that it's not anything that's going to bother us. But hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to magnify the Most High. We're going to do so. Yep. We're going to go someplace else. You know what we're going to do? We're going to magnify him with Psalm 25. This is one of those that is endearing to me. It's something that I love. Again, it came up during worship and my praise. And so you know what? We're going to go ahead and let her rip. We're going to let her rip on this here, on this fourth day. We're going to let her rip right now. Let's magnify the Most High as we prepare for him to teach us. Oh yeah, teach me thy paths. Oh yeah, teach me, lead me in thy truth. Teach me, for you are my Elohim, of my salvation, and only do I wait all day, all day. Only do we wait all day, all day. Only do we wait all day, all day. Only do we wait all day, all day. All right, I had to stop that right there. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Going to stop by the chat room and see who's there. Let's take a sneak peek and let's see who may be in the chat room. All right, here we are. We are, yes, praise and bless, peace and blessings to each and every one of you that are here. Want to give a shout out, of course, to my number one brother from another mother, none other than Bergen, Paris. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. Glad that you are here as well. We have with us also in the chat room, we have Peter Jourdain right here in the chat room. Also, my brother George Evans is here. I'm glad that you're here, Peter Jourdain. Yeah, shalom to you too, my brother. I'm glad that you are here, as well as my brother George Evans. Glad that you are here. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yes, yes, peace and blessings to you as well. We know that others are going to be coming in. I know that for some, I may be on just a little bit early, right? I may be on a little bit early. But hey, I wanted to kind of dive in here, and I wanted to begin, in listening to you, you said that, well, you want me to actually go through some books of the Tanakh, and I would say, well, where would you start other than at the beginning? And so with that being the case, we are going to start. And listen, there's a lot of good things in Genesis 1. And listen, there's a lot of good things in every chapter. I'm talking about not just something to walk away with, but something to pattern your life by. I'm talking about life-changing truths, life-changing realities that we're going to find in the book of Breshiyt. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pause for a station ID. This is none other than the sponsor for this particular session, How to Hebrew, H2H. It's none other than Navi Bein University. And let's give a shout out to them, and let's take a peek at them, and let's just kind of see what they're talking about. All right, be right back. There are increasing numbers of Hebrew Israelites all over the world, from Asia to Africa, from Mexico to Germany. There are Hebrew Israelites that are coming together as a nation and as a family, and you are needed. You are needed to take your place as the educator of your families, your sons, your daughters. So we want you to enroll in Navi Bein University so that you can take your place in the kingdom. Now is the time to prepare to create Hebraically centered scholarly materials to educate others, to teach your family, to teach your sons, your daughters, to teach the young, to teach the old, and to bring them into the knowledge of the Most High. The Most High is gathering us together as He has promised. So enroll in Navi Bein University, connect with the administrator and the registrars, and enroll today for just $35 for a bachelor's per month, or $45 for a master's, or even enroll in the doctorate's program. You can get a degree with a Hebraic focus at Breshiyt University. Hebraic education, undergraduate, graduate, and specialty courses. All right, peace and blessings to you, my brothers and my sisters. Here we are. Yes, we are. We're right back with you. And here we are. We're getting ready to venture into that place. What place am I talking about? I'm talking about none other than Genesis, the book of Genesis, which is within its own right. It is a beautiful place to start. It's a wonderful place to start. And so we're going to take a look at what Genesis is saying to us. And I've already given shouts out, and I know that others may have come into the chat room. But one of the things that I want to do is I want to give you somewhat of an introduction to the book of Genesis. The book of Genesis, if you'll allow me to find my place here, if we take a look at the book of Genesis and we understand what it is, it really is the beginning in many sense of the word. It is the beginning of cyclical time. It is the beginning of a revelation that the Most High gives us of this genre, where he shares with us who he is on a very intimate level, on a very detailed level. And it is within the context of what is written in Scripture, meaning that he said, to no other nation, other nations may know about me, and I'm paraphrasing, but he says, it is to you that I've given myself to be known like no other. I've given myself to be known by you like no other. And so we see that there are many other individuals and many other religions and many other religious camps, if you will, or religions within themselves, or even mythologies that will speak of a god, or they will speak of a deity. And some of them may even say Yah, some of them may even say Yahweh. And even though that is so, we understand that when the Most High says that, I've given you, Israel, to know me because you are my heritage. I've given you to know me like no other. We, of course, then understand that if you can imagine your dad back in the day, or even someone that you knew professionally back in the day, let's say your teacher, you may have known your teacher's name, but you didn't know your teacher as if you were a member of that teacher's family, right? You didn't get to go home with that teacher, and you didn't understand that teacher in an everyday setting. You didn't see that teacher cooking and cleaning and lounging around in their own, pajamas or what have you, or a robe. Well, see, those are things that family members get to see. Those are things that family members get to witness. And it is the same way with the Most High. One of the reasons that I believe that the scriptures, I'm talking about none other than the Tanakh, I believe that it has endured for so long is because it is an intimate look at the Most High. It is an intimate look at El Elyon. It is an intimate look at our Elohim, and we get to see parts of him that we do not get from the Enuma Elish. We do not get from the Upanishads. We do not get from the Bhagavad Gita. We do not get them from any other religious text. We do not get them, not even from the Mesopotamian mythologies. We don't get them from any other place other than the Tanakh. It is no wonder then that the Tanakh in its entirety is the foundation for the three major spiritual centers of this particular existence that we have. I'm talking about Christianity and Islam and Judaism. And within Judaism, of course, we know there are many splinters, and we're not going to get into that. However, I do want to say that it is no wonder that this particular text is the foundation for the religions and for the spiritual direction of the majority of this world. And so with that being the case, we also acknowledge the simple fact that the Most High has given unto us the ability, if you will, to venture into this work, to venture into this, I'm telling you, when you look at the book of Breshiyt, it really is a masterpiece within itself when you look at it for what it is. Yes, I know that structurally these are words that were put down on parchment, by men. I know that within the biblical narrative, there is prose, there is poetry, there is narrative, there's a lot that is, that's wrapped up in the Tanakh. There's prophecy, there's laments, there's poetry, as I mentioned before. There's a lot here, and we can definitely gather a lot from the Tanakh as we venture forth and dig into it and just simply allow ourselves to see what it is saying. And I'm also, let me just let you in on this. I'm writing another book, and in this book I am mentioning very simply that, it's a dishonor to the text for us to make the text bend towards our understanding. Okay? I'm going to say that again. It is a dishonor to the text, and we do violence to the text, to the Tanakh, when we bend it and make it conform and contort to our modern day understanding. What we as the reader must do is we must pursue the word of the Most High, and we must go after it and not take it and contort it to our modern day frame of reference and way of thinking, but we need to seek it and not make it bow down to us. Well, with that being the case, we venture to just move forward and to embrace the Tanakh for what it is. We want to flow with the Tanakh for what it is, and we want to make absolutely sure that we are, how can I say this, ready to receive from the Tanakh and ready to receive what the Tanakh has to share with us. Now, one of the things I want to do real quick is, let me do this. I know that some others may have come in. I want to give shouts out to everybody. I want to give shouts out to everyone. Let me see if anyone else has come in. And yes. Repentant and saved. Peace and blessings to you, my sister. I'm glad that you are here. Also, Hanaya Israel is also here. Peace and blessings to you. We welcome you in. And we want you to grab your pads. We want you to grab your pencils, papers, grab you something. We are going to venture forth into the book of Breshiyt, the book of Genesis, and we are going to begin at chapter 1, and we're going to flow with it. We're going to allow it to speak to us, and we're not going to contort it or change it, because remember what the scripture says. It says, don't you change it, right? Don't add to it. Don't take away from it. You don't do any of that, right? And I apologize, but I do need to fix something here, and I'm doing that while I'm talking to you so that we can move forward. But it's important for us to know that we can look at the scriptures and glean from it without changing it, without making it to be something that we want it to be. Now, from a theological standpoint, for those of you that will be enrolling into Navi Beat Academy, you have to understand that there are two cousins. We're talking about exegesis and eisegesis, okay? Exegesis is where you draw from the text, right? You draw out of the text what is there. That's what you do. You draw out of the text what is there, and you allow it to say what it is saying, okay? Now, there's others who would say, well, we have a doctrine, we have a church, or we have we have this religious setting, and you know what we need to do? We need to find where the scripture agrees with what we are saying, okay? That's called eisegesis, where you are actually going into the scriptures, kind of like with the predetermined bias. I want to find this in the scripture, and so you then look for it. And 9 times out of 10, you will find something, and you can find something that will substantiate your position when it comes to the Tanakh. And you can literally contort the Bible, and of course you can take things out of context, but you can actually contort the Bible and make it say things that you want it to say. And I'm just being real. I'm keeping it real with you. So you have to be very careful when you listen to people and when you listen to individuals who will say, well, this is what the Tanakh says. this is what it says. This is the truth. And you have to make sure that you're on the right path and that you have the right mindset, which is, I'm not going to make it say what I want it to say. I'm going to let it tell me what it wants to tell me, because I'm here to sit at the feet of the Most High. With that being the case, we're going to venture forth into the Tanakh. I have one thing that I need to do, and we're going to be right back. There are increasing numbers of Hebrew Israelites all over the world, from Asia to Africa, from Mexico to Germany. There are Hebrew Israelites that are coming together as a nation and as a family, and you are needed. You are needed to take your place as the educator of your families, your sons, your daughters. So we want you to enroll in Breshiyt University so that you can take your place in the kingdom. Now is the time to prepare to create Hebraically centered scholarly materials to educate others, to teach your family, to teach your sons, your daughters, to teach the young, to teach the old, and to bring them into the knowledge of the Most High. The Most High is gathering us together as He has promised. So enroll in Breshiyt University, connect with the administrator and the registrars, and enroll today for just $35 for a bachelor's per month, or $45 for a master's, or even enroll in the doctorate's program. You can get a degree with a Hebraic focus at Breshiyt University. Hebraic education, undergraduate, graduate, and specialty courses. All right, here we are. Here we are. Yes, we are right back at you, and we want to go ahead and get with the getting. Here we go. We're going to get right into the book of Breshiyt. We're going to get right into the scriptures. I am having just a little bit of technical difficulty, but let me just fix one thing here, if you don't mind. If you let me fix this, then we'll be able to get right into what it is that we are going to talk about with Breshiyt. And yeah, here we go. Here we go. Okay, we're doing pretty good here. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. All right, and I believe that's it. I believe that that's what we want to do. And we're going to roll with that for right now. Okay, here we go. We're ready to get into Genesis 1. All right, so here we go. Genesis 1. Excuse me for that. Little distracted. Had to do a couple of things. But hey, it's all good. Get some water. Here we go. Now, we know that, of course, chapter 1 is the beginning of the book of Genesis, and it is the beginning of this tapestry that the Most High lays out for us, where He is revealing Himself. Do not make a mistake. The purpose of the Tanakh itself is to reveal to us not about the life of Adam and Chava, not about the life of Abel and Cain, not about the life of any other individual that is penned within the Tanakh. The purpose of the Tanakh is to secure a solid understanding of who the Most High is, and to get a vivid, very realistic vision of what His heart is and what His mind is. Okay? There are places, and in fact, you have to look for these places where the Most High is revealing His heart and revealing His mind. Listen, these are the treasures within the Tanakh. Our treasure is not to be found in looking at David's heart or David's mind or the mind of another individual, but we strike pay dirt when we happen to sneak upon a portrait of the mind of the Most High, and a portrait of his mind, and a portrait of his heart. Let me give you an example of that before we get into Breshiyt chapter 1. If we just simply go to Genesis 6, I just simply want to show you this. We're going to go to Genesis 6, and let me just show you that as we take a look here, we understand what it reads in Genesis 6. It's that startling chapter where we see where the Most High saw the wickedness of man, and notice what it reads in verse number 5. And Elohim saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart, of man's heart, was only evil continually. Notice what the next verse reads, verse number 6. And it repented Yahweh that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. So here we have a portrait, a picture, if you will, of the heart of the Most High and how he is feeling. In this particular instance, we understand that the Most High has a heart, he has a mind, and we can actually grieve the mind and the heart of the Most High. Well, see, now that within itself is a revelation, because many, in fact, I used to teach back in the day that since Elohim was, quote unquote, God, that he was impervious to whatever we do, whatever we say, and none of our actions could ever bother him nor disturb him, because he was God. He was Elohim. Well, one day I happened to get a revelation, and it was revealed to me that what I was thinking was completely wrong. And it happened because I sneezed. Yes, a sneeze taught me a lesson. As I sneezed, I realized, you know what? Wait a minute. I just sneezed right now and about to have a whole bunch of symptoms because one small little virus bug that my eye can't even see, that thing has invaded my body, and now it's going to send my whole body through changes. Being made in the likeness and the image of the Most High, I then understood how something so minute and something so small, something so seemingly insignificant as maybe something we would think or something we would feel or something that we would do, I began to understand how important that was in the tapestry of spirituality and how the Most High is connected to us, for we are made in his image and in his likeness. And so I understood by a sneeze that we, of course, could affect a greater being, just like that little virus affected me. Well, let's get into Breshiyt chapter 1, and let's take a look at this, because for those of you who say that there is no spirituality within the Tanakh, that there isn't anything juicy and spiritual in the Tanakh, you must not have truly read and understood Breshiyt chapter 1. Let's dig in, because it is truly spiritual. We did share with you many things in our previous lesson, and talking about the gap theory between Genesis 1:1 and Genesis 1:2, which we're not going to rehash. Neither are we going to get into the battle with Yah with the proverbial sea monsters of chaos and confusion and so forth and so on. We will not deal with that, but however, we will pick up where we left off, and we will begin to talk about Breshiyt as it is laid out before us. One of the first things that we see and that we notice, and that I always point out, is that it is the Most High that has created physical existence. He's created the physical realm. Therefore, there is a place for our physical existence to be holy. One of the indictments that I would bring up before the religious sectors of our day is that they have completely forgotten the world, the physical world, and they've been made to believe in a celestial palace dangling someplace in between the clouds, and they have forsaken the earth, and they've allowed the earth to literally go to hell in a handbasket, and everyone seemingly has forsaken the earth. Everybody wants to be raptured up to heaven. Everybody wants Scotty to beam them up. They want to be out of here. They want to float on clouds and eat grapes, when really the Most High is guaranteed that he is going to restore the sanctity, the holiness, and the glory of this place we call earth, and that this is the heaven that he's always wanted us to experience. It was never about a celestial heaven. It was never about going away in the clouds. It was never about that. How do we know that? Because we're going to discover that it was never about that, not even in the beginning. You have to understand that the Most High, he reveals the end from the beginning, and he gives you a glimpse of what the end is going to be before anything ever gets started. So before we had streets and cars and so forth and so on, and with all of our modernity and machines and instruments and so forth and so on, the Most High showed us exactly what he wanted, which is for us to live here on earth, right? For us to live here on earth, and for us to actually experience long life, and to be able to be rewarded with the fruit of our labors, and to be blessed by him in a physical kingdom. It has become taboo now to think that the kingdom of the Most High is a physical kingdom, because of the interjections of certain religious circles and certain religious dogmas that have come to tell us, hey, it's spiritual, it's not physical. And these individuals actually are puffed up within themselves, and they feel as if they have revelation and they have truth, because they say that it is spiritual and not physical. And to them, everything is spiritual. Nothing needs to be physical. Why all of that physical stuff in the physical kingdom? Why? You are so wrong. Don't you know that it's about the spirit? And they'll tell you that, yes, you can read the Tanakh, but you can't understand it because you don't have the spirit. You don't have the Ruach HaKodesh. You don't have that. And I'm going to challenge you during the course of this particular chapter and the chapter to come. I'm going to challenge you regarding the Ruach HaKodesh. I'm going to challenge you to take a deeper look at Genesis 1 and also Genesis chapter 2. But now we notice here in the beginning that what the Most High is doing is he is beginning cyclical time. And not only that, but one thing that I pointed out last time that I must point out again is that he has barad. He has, I know how that sounds, right? The word here for created, as I mentioned before, it is barah, B-A-R-A-H. And what this means is, this does not mean to make something out of nothing. It means to take what is already there and to form it and to fashion it and to repurpose it. And we find that this is what the Most High does. Now, on this note, I need you to understand that the Most High is the master at being able to take what is there and refashion it, repurpose it, and breathe into it and give it new life and a new direction and a new destiny. And I say that because many times in our own lives, we feel stale. We feel like this is old, this is stale, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. And sometimes it seems as if, well, there is no life in it. There is no life in this. And you know what? I just want to kind of, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I should just take up ping pong. I don't know. Because you're looking more so to be entertained rather than to be set on a journey that's going to end in your perfection and your mastery in the things of the Most High. For those of you who understand the way that the Most High moves, the way that the Most High works, you understand that he is not in a hurry, he is patient, and when he wants to bring something about, he doesn't just snap his finger and create it out of nothing. What does he do? He causes it to grow. He causes there to be a seed, and he causes that seed to grow. We understand what it says in Scripture, that as long as the earth remains, there will be seed, time, and harvest. I know people say that in relationship to taking up an offering. That's not what I'm doing. I'm letting you know that this is how the Most High works. When he wants something, he plants a seed and he grows it, because this is the natural means. This is the natural way by him producing and him bringing about abundance in your life. It doesn't come overnight. I know that we are children of the quick return. We want a quick return in everything. We want everything to be like Amazon. I ordered it today and got it today. But guess what? That is not the way that the Most High moves. Soros may move in a way that, helps you to get something today, but it is not the way that the Most High moves. The Most High demands in the spiritual walk that there be patience. Yes, with the Most High, it is very true that it is not a sprint, it is a journey. So with that being the case, as we go back into Breshiyt, we see here that the Most High is actually giving purpose, and he's reshaping and refashioning, and he is adding to what is already there. Now, please keep in mind, during this, I know we may get a question like, oh, well, how can there be, tell me this about the book of Genesis. How can it be that you have light? That's one of the first things he made was light. But then the sun don't come until day number 4. How was that? Well, you have to understand what is happening here in Breshiyt. When you take the first 3 days, day 1, day 2, day 3, Yom Echad, Yom Shnei, Yom Shalosh, these 3 days, the Most High is actually creating a habitation, okay? He's creating the phenomenon, and he's creating the physical space for that phenomenon to take place. And then it is after the 3rd day that he then creates the elements that are going to facilitate what he wants. Well, what do you mean by that? Okay, fine. Let's go there. If you notice, in verse number 3, he says, let there be light. So this was not the sun, because again, the sun was created on day 4. So what was actually being given place to was the capacity for there to be a day and for there to be a night, the system of day and night, the overall functioning of day and night, the fact that there would be light within itself, the fact that there would be darkness within itself, okay? And this is a habitation, if you will. And later on, night is going to fill this habitation. Light is going to fill the habitation of day. And night is going to fill, the moon and the stars and the night is going to fill the habitation of the darkness. But here, the Most High establishes a habitation. He establishes the foundation thereof, okay? And he establishes the phenomenon itself. If you notice in day 1, the Most High does create light, right? And then we find here in day 2, it says, hey, guess what? On day 2, we find, and the Most High said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And by the way, at the end of the first day, he says, there was evening and there was morning, and this was the first day. So we're starting cyclical time, and we're starting to see how these habitations will interact with cyclical time. And we see here now, beginning in verse number 6, where he says, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. We shared with you before, the firmament is rakia or rakia. It is actually, I showed you before, that it is a firm and solid expanse in the sky, okay? And it's part of Psalms 19, where it says that the Most High, because of his creation, that the heavens do show forth his glory and his handiwork. And of course, we understand that to be true. So when we look here at the firmament, once again, we're looking at the habitation, okay? We're looking at the firmament. We're noticing here that the firmament, right, is going to separate the waters. And then, of course, the Most High is going to also, after making the firmament that divides the waters, he is going to call it heaven. So he makes the expanse and the heaven and the firmament. And again, this is a habitation, and he is later going to fill that habitation. Now, please understand that this is the way that the Most High moves, and we find that this is also the truth, even concerning Adam. when you look at Adam, we understand that, of course, the Most High created a habitation for him, and then he put them in. Of course, I'm not just talking about the earth, okay? But I'm talking about the garden, because the intentions of the Most High was that Adam would see the field and then recognize the garden as being different, recognize the garden as being glorious, and then terraform the rest of the planet, the rest of the earth, into this garden kind of a place, okay? However, if you notice, the Most High created a garden, and we're going to read it later. He created a garden, and then he placed the man therein. Well, we see the same thing happening here, where the Most High created light, right? He created the firmament, he created the earth, and now he's going to populate them after day number 3. So when you take a look at it on day number 3, Elohim said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered into one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. And Elohim called the dry land earth, and gathered together the waters he called seas, and Elohim saw that it was good. Now, what we understand here is that if you take a look what the Most High did, if you take a look at how he's moving, it is on day 3 where he begins to take the earth, right? He's finishing up the habitation. He's allowing there to be grass. He's allowing there to be trees. And then the Most High is going to begin, okay, to populate these different habitations. So what do we know about the Most High from just reading and rehearsing what we have from Genesis 1st chapter, verses 1 through 14? Well, we understand that what the Most High does first is he creates a habitation, and then he fills that habitation. Now, let me tell you why this is backward from many of our thinking and many of our practices. It's backwards because many times, and I'll tell you, I'm telling on myself, because back when I was young and didn't know any better, I was more developed in getting a wife than I was in getting a place for us to stay. I was young, I was in love. All I could see is love, love, love. And my kid's mother, I was focused on basically getting married, and I needed to put more attention into our finances and into a place to stay if I was going to be like the Most High. Brothers, let this be a lesson to you. Be like the Most High. And before you think about putting a ring on someone's finger, make sure that you establish the place and the foundation and the habitation for your queen before you put a ring on it. Don't you dare move in with her. Don't you dare move in with her. You bring her into your place, or you get a new place together. But don't you dare move in with her. You make sure that you create a habitation for her. All right? You create a place for her. And before you have kids, make sure that you have room for the kids. Make sure that you get a kid's bed. Make sure that you basically prepare first. Okay? If we were like the Most High, we wouldn't be fooled by these faith charlatans that tell us, just forget everything, turn your back on everything, and just step out there on faith. No. Understand the wisdom that the Most High gives us. He prepares a habitation first, and then he populates that habitation. Okay? If you want to use your faith, you use faith to create that habitation first. Right? And that you're going to be able to find, your future misses after you get that done. Okay? So you have to prepare a place first. So this is what we see happening in Breshiyt. We see it happening with the Most High. He prepares the habitation first, and then he populates it. Now notice, as we take a look here, he begins to populate, and he does it in sequential order. He began with the heavens and the earth. Notice the first thing that he populates is the heavens, meaning that he is sequential in his operation. It's not madness, but there is a method to the madness. He is sequential in his operation. He knows what he is doing, and there is a divine order to the things of the Most High. And he began with the heavens. He began to create the heavens and then to remove the waters from the earth. And notice this is the same way that he is now going to populate the habitation. Okay? So if I want you to get anything out of this thus far, I want you to get out of this that you have to begin your every endeavor with a plan. You must begin your every endeavor with a plan, and you first of all create the habitation for that thing. Let me give you an example. If you are going to say, you know what, I'm going to be in business, I'm going to have my own business, right? And you may not get a brick and mortar store right away. You may not do anything like that, but make a little office in your home. Make a little office where you can. I'm telling you things that I've done. I went and I bought a desk for $1, and I began to set up a office in my then home, and I made a place for business. I made a place for success. I made a place for it. Then I began to populate it with all the things that I would need in order to make that success possible. Well, this is the way that the Most High does, and so we must get it in our mindset that we have to have a plan, you have to have a focus, and the first thing that you do is you make room for your blessing. You make room for what it is that the Most High wants you to do. In this case, you make room for what you're going to create, you make room for what you're going to do, and the Most High did so by creating a habitation, and then he populated it. Let's take another look, and we notice here that as he begins to populate the firmament, notice what it reads in verse number 14. And Elohim said, let there be lights, okay, orot, let them be lights in the firmament, barakia, b'shemaim, lehibdil, to divide hayom, mehalayla. So this is the division of the day from the night, and these that are populating the heavens now are the lights of the firmament. Let them be for signs, let them be for seasons, and let them be for days, and let them be for years. You can't tell me that the Most High is not organized. Notice what he says here. Let there be lights, and I've got a purpose for these lights. These lights aren't just going to be cute little ornaments that look good and that flicker. No, they're going to have a purpose. They're going to, first of all, they're going to divide the day from the night, okay? And you find out all through Scripture that there is a division between the day and the night. I know that we look at the proverbial day, meaning a 24-hour period that composes of a day and a night, but please understand, in the Tanakh, the Most High differentiates between the day and the night, and they are not to be convoluted. They're not to be mixed up. The day is always the day, and the night is always the night. The Most High never gets those mixed up. He never gets those entangled in the Tanakh. Okay? They are separate, which is why when we take a look at Shabbat, we rest during the day hours whereby we ourselves would normally work. Okay? It is at night, then, after the sun has gone down, that we are able to move about, we're able to work, and we're able to do. The Shabbat has within it the Shabbaton, which is the featured highlight, if you will, of that particular Shabbat. For the weekly Shabbat is you are not to do any work, you are not to do any secular activities, you are not to fulfill your own desires, and so forth and so on. You know what Shabbat is. But you are to actually take the day and reverence the Most High. Now, many have taken this as, oh, okay, the day. So they're looking at the 24-hour period, but the Most High means it literally, and he means the day when the sun comes up, right? So in looking at it then, the night before Shabbat, the night, when many people say, well, this is the beginning of Shabbat, don't let us do anything. Well, this is actually the time. If we were to go back in time, we'd find that this is the time where the children of Israel were still able to go out and get the quail. If you read Numbers I believe it's chapters 12 through 13. It's a whole saga. It's a whole, you'd have to read all of that. But long story short, they were able to gather at night, but if you notice, during the day, they were not able to gather. Why? Because the Most High differentiates between a day and a night. Maybe more on that later. But let's take a look here. Now he populates them. He created the heavens, and now he populates the heavens with lights, right? And he populates the heavens. He continues. And notice what the Most High said here in verse number 17. And Elohim set in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day, and to rule over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. So there's a function to the purposes of what the Most High has created. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a function. And the Most High does not do and did not do anything haphazardly. Everything for a reason. And so now we're at the end of the fourth day, right? Because again, remember, the first 3 days were creating the habitations, right? Now, the fourth day is the beginning of the Most High filling those habitations, okay? So with that being the case, let's continue forward. And as we see what the Most High is doing here, look at verse number 20. Verse number 20 reads, and Elohim said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures. Again, remember, he made the habitation of the seas. He made the habitation of the heavens. And now he is going to populate the habitation of the heavens. And he's going to populate the habitations of the sea. And then lastly, since the earth was last, he's going to populate the habitations of the earth. So let's continue with this, and we see verse 20, and Elohim said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that it may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And Elohim created the great whales, and every living creature that moves, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. Okay, so now we've taken care of the heavens, we've taken care of the seas. What's next? The land is next, right? So the earth is next, Haaretz, and notice what we read here in verse number 25. Again, the Most High creates a habitation, and then he fills it. He has a plan, he creates it, and then he fills it with what he wants. Look at verse number 25. And Elohim made the beast of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creeps upon the earth after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image. Now here, what is interesting is that you notice when the Most High, and I know that many of you may have heard this before, but it's worth saying, it's worth hearing again. When the Most High populated the heavens, he spoke to the heavens and had the heavens to create. When he spoke to the seas, he had the seas to create and to manifest fish, right? When he wanted to create the animals, he created the animals by speaking to the earth, right? Which is why in the book of Proverbs it reads that the spirit of man goes up to the Most High when he dies, but the spirit of the animal goes down and into the earth because it is of the consciousness of the earth, okay? It does not have a divine consciousness. Animals do not have a divine consciousness, even though they do have intelligence, a certain level of intelligence. But let's continue forward, because we understand that now when it comes to making man, notice what the Most High did. When he wanted animals, he spoke to the earth, and there were animals. He spoke to the sea, and there were things of the sea. He spoke to the air, and there were birds of the air. But now, when it comes to making humanity, when it comes to making mankind, he speaks among the divine beings. He does not speak to the earth to create man. He doesn't speak to the seas to create man. He doesn't speak to the air to create man. but he has a conversation between himself and the B'nai Elohim. This then gives us an understanding that, yeah, that whole Darwin theory of evolution, if that was true, then the Most High would have been speaking to the sea and saying, let there be a tadpole, and let that tadpole become a fish, and let that fish come out of the water, and let that fish that came out of the water become a reptile, and let that reptile become, the theory of evolution is actually hogwash. You do not see, there should be missing links walking all around us, but of course you know that you don't see that because evolution is one man's theory. It's a fairy tale, and it is not substantiated. But as we take a look here, as we continue, as I go down the home stretch, okay, as I go down the home stretch, when the Most High wanted to make man, he spoke to himself. He spoke amongst himself. He spoke amongst the divine beings because humanity is a divine being. Psalms 82, have not I said unto you that you are Elohim, that you are gods? Did not I say this unto you? Yes, you are members of the Elohim. You are members of the Elohim continuum. Yes, you are. And notice what it reads here in verse number 26. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea. Let them have dominion. Why do they deserve dominion? Because they're like us. Okay, they are like a deity. They are a deity. Therefore, they need to have dominion because we have dominion. They're created in our likeness and created in our image. Therefore, they should be like us and they should have dominion like us. And I always say, if you are like the Most High, then you need to have dominion over something. What do you have dominion over? What are you controlling? What do you have dominion over? I'm talking about more than you having dominion over your left hand and your right hand, over your left foot and your right foot. I'm talking about what do you have dominion over that you can take over and rule to the honor and to the glory of the Most High. You should be ruling something because you've been given power, you've been given authority, you've been given a level of divine leadership that you really need to cash in on. So what are you leading? What are you controlling? What is your niche? What is that one thing that you're going to do a little bit differently than anybody else? What are you controlling? What do you have dominion over? Okay, this is something that you definitely need to focus on. Well, in taking a look here, let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and the fowl of the air and over the cattle and over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. So Elohim created mankind in his own image, and in the image of Elohim created he him, male and female created he them. We're just about at the end of this chapter, but one thing I do want to say is that the problem with the world, again, is that many of us have taken our hands off of the physical plow. We've taken our hands off of this physical world, and we've allowed it to be controlled by others. Hebrews, hear me. Mr. and Mrs. Hebrew, hear me. Brother Hebrew, sister Hebrew, hear me. You need to establish dominion and control over some area in this earth. You need to establish dominion. You need to seek dominion. You need to seek control. And you need to seek to be able to demonstrate the control and the dominion of the Most High in that area. Okay, I don't care if it's sewing dresses. I don't care if it's making toothpaste. I don't care what it is, but you need to have dominion over an area, and you need to rock that thing till the cows come home in the name of the Most High and do it unto his glory. You need control of something. You definitely do. So then, and may the Most High give you the wisdom to show you how you can take what you have now and develop that level of mastery and dominion. So, in looking at this, the Most High blessed him in verse number 28. Okay, he blessed him in verse number 28, and he says, be fruitful and multiply. Now, we know how to be fruitful and to multiply. We know what activities need to take place in order for that to happen. So, with that being the case, I just simply want to interject here that intimate relationships with the opposite sex is divine and holy, and it is sanctioned by the Most High. Okay? Without it, we don't have a nation. Without it, we are not a people. So that too is holy. And the replenishing of the earth and the subduing it is also a holy task. And the Most High said that we are to have dominion over all of his creations here on the earth. Verse 29, and Elohim said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which there is fruit, okay, which yields its own seed. And that's going to be what you eat, right? You eat of the herbs and you eat the vegetation. That is what you're going to eat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creeps upon the earth, wherein there is life, I've given every green herb for meat. And it was so. Verse number 31 reads, as we get to the end of chapter 1, and Elohim saw everything that he had made. Everything that he had made. He saw it all. How he said that the stars are for signs and seasons and days and years. He said, that's good. The animals are good. Man being on the earth, that's good. And behold, it was very good. And evening and morning were the sixth day. And that is the end of chapter 1 of Breshiyt. So from this, we've gathered a number of insights. We've gathered some good things. I'm now going to tiptoe over to the chat room, and I'm going to see what you all are talking about. And just after we have this little bit of a break, we're going to have this little bit of a break, from our sponsor. Be right back. Hi, I'm Melchior Uriel, and I'm so delighted to meet you. I'm glad that you stopped by. I'm glad that you're curious, and I'm glad that you clicked on the video. All right, we're back. And you know what? Now is the time that we're going to open it up for you to be able to ask your questions. So go ahead, ask your questions. The phone line is open, and you can feel free to ask your questions. And hopefully it pertains to the lesson. Peace and blessings. Some other people that are here. My sister came in, and I didn't even hear the door slam. My sister Jacqueline E. Bugs is here. Also, EJ Love is in the house. Peace and blessings to you, EJ Love. I'm glad that you're here. My sister Hanaya Israel is here. I did mention her before. My brother George Evans is here. That's right. Finn Silly. Also here. Let's see. Yeah, you're definitely right, Peter Jourdain. The rapture is a false doctrine. James Hardy is in the house. Peace and blessings to you, James Hardy. Josh and Penny are in the house. Peace and blessings to you. Did I miss anybody? Okay, I think we got everyone, okay? Okay, we will keep Josh and Penny. Yeah, we will keep them in our prayers. Oh, wow. Penny just got out of the hospital. I'm just now seeing this. Okay. Yeah, Most High, we lift up Penny before you. We thank you that you are the Elohim of our salvation. She needs your salvation. She needs physical salvation. She needs that salvation that heals her body and that restores her functions. And so we speak to you. We ask of you that you would restore whatever bodily function is deficient. Restore her, build her up in every area where she is weak, and also give her the wisdom and understanding what to add to her diet, what to take away from her diet, what to change, and what to do more so than anything else. We ask that you heal her, that you raise her up, This is our beloved sister. We love her. This family is dear to us, and we lift them up before you. We honor you in this, and we thank you ahead of time. We magnify the energy of healing and peace and sanctity and comfort with Josh and Penny in your name, Yah. Amen and amen. Peace and blessings to Soprano Jesse. Yeah, Jesse, I've been listening. And you know what? You're right. It is. I'm like, wow. And you know what? I think, I don't know. I want to talk to you about that. We'll talk. We'll connect. But glad to see you, Jesse girl. Glad to see you. Let me continue here. Again, your questions. We're open for questions. Okay. My brother George Evans asked a question. He says, well, have you heard of Mastemah? And is he similar to Hasatan? He is similar to Hasatan in the respect that he too takes his orders from the Most High. He can only do what the Most High allows him to do, just as all other spiritual entities. And so the Most High, El Elyon, is the high, the high Elohim. There is no one above him. He is the Most High. And so the interesting thing about this individual that you mentioned, Mastemah, is that he actually asked for there to be a certain amount of negative entities here on the earth so that his work can be done. And his work is actually that of, once again, it's kind of like what Hasatan does. If you, and love you too, Josh and Penny, love you too. So when you look at it, it really is to try. It really is like Inspector 12. It doesn't say Haynes till I say it says Haynes. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna test this. I'm gonna shake it. I'm gonna rattle it. It's it's kind of like like one of my grandsons, Dean. There was a toy, and Dean, he was younger back then. He's a little older, a little wiser now. He knows better. But there was a toy, and he wanted it because when you shook it, it made a noise. And he's like, I want to break it, and I want to tear it open, and I want to see exactly what's in there. So he, in his younger days, he would like to hit things, bang them, break them, tear them up, because he wanted to see what was in them. Well, this individual, as well as the prosecuting attorney Hasatan, basically they're adversarial, but they are doing the work of the Most High. And so we honor and appreciate what the Most High is doing in our lives. And you know what? Someone has to check us out, right? Someone has to check us out. Someone has to make sure that things are so. And so, long story short, basically we do need to be checked. We need to be put in check sometimes. We really do, right? We really do. Think about a child that you never have to check, you never have to spank. You know that they're going to be a mess, right? Because every one of us needs to be checked. All right, so my brother George Evans also says, I was reading and studying, and that name came up. Thank you for answering. Yes, you are welcome. And on that note, the question of there being seemingly negative entities and like holy angels and unholy angels, think of it like this. Think of eating clean and think of eating unclean. Everything has its job. Those who are the bottom feeders, they have their jobs. We're not supposed to eat them. And those who are spiritually, I don't know, they deal in the realm of the negative, and they deal with those who are equivalent to the unclean, right? We call the food that we can't eat unclean. We say that we're eating clean because we eat what the Most High has designated for us. Well, it's the same thing spiritually. You're not to connect with these entities that are unclean. Now, people do because they think that they're going to gain some power out of it, right? But long story short, in the end, it does not end well because the Most High has always guaranteed that we should eat according to his laws, statutes, and commandments, which also involves and includes our spiritual alliances. Let's take a look and see what else you all are saying, if anything. Let's see. I don't know if there are any other questions. And you know what? Let me see if I can find some of your music, Jesse. Since no one has any more questions, let me see if I can find some more of your some of your musics. So I can share that with everyone. Let's see here. I don't know if I'm looking in the right place. Okay. Yeah, I'm not looking. I am not looking in the right place to find your music. Okay. I'm gonna have to. I was on a different computer. That's what it was. Let's see. Oh, I'm trying. Hold on. All right. So it looks like it is not going to give it to me. At least what I wanted. I'm trying to find Soprano Jesse, y'all. And it's not pulling it up for me. Maybe if I keep going, it might. And then again, maybe it won't. Okay. All right, let me do this. Let me... Okay, let me do this. I'm gonna pan. See, now I want to find it. I want to find that now. Okay, let me. Okay, I can't find it for whatever reason. Maybe I can't connect with my other channel. But anyway, since there are no more questions or comments, I guess we're kind of like, yeah, I think we're kind of out of here. I don't know if the internet is misbehaving right now or what. But I think I've gotten all the questions. And so we're going to go ahead and let that rest. All right. Well, peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Man, I wanted to pull up some of your music, Jesse. Oh, let me see if I can do it this way. Hold on. In fact, let me go to a commercial. And we'll be right back. There are increasing numbers of Hebrew Israelites all over the world, from Asia to Africa, from Mexico to Germany. There are Hebrew Israelites that are coming together as a nation and as a family, and you are needed. You are needed to take your place as the educator of your families, your sons, your daughters. So we want you to enroll in Bein University so that you can take your place in the kingdom. Now is the time to prepare to create Hebraically centered scholarly materials to educate others, to teach your family, to teach your sons, your daughters, to teach the young. All right, got it. Yep. I got it. So let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you all this because I found the channel. Yes, I did. And I want to see if we can't hear one of her selections here. Give me just a second. Oh, there we go. Okay, this is our sister, Soprano Jesse. And let me do this. There was one that I really liked. I don't know if I can find it right now, but hey, let's go with this one. How about that?
Thank you for this day, another chance to fight. In your path I'll stay, guided by your hand, walking in your grace. Bless my feet to stand in this holy place. Blessings flow, blessings flow, going out and coming in. Blessings flow, strength in the morning, joy in the night, praise without warning in your love's light. Teach me your ways, guard me all around. I lift my voice to praise, in your name I'm found. Blessings flow, blessings flow, going out and coming in. Blessings flow, teach me your ways, guard me all around. I lift my voice to praise, in your name I'm found. Blessings flow, blessings flow, blessings flow, going out and coming in, coming in. Blessings flow, blessings flow, blessings flow, going out and coming in, coming in. Blessings flow,
All right, all right. Nice, nice, nice,
going
nice.
out and coming in.
Yes, definitely nice. All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, something to be said about that, something to be said about AI music. What I'm going to do is take one last stop at the chat room and see if anyone has anything else that they want to share. Otherwise, we are out of here. Yeah, please share some more with us, Jesse. Share some more with us, all right? That was good. I mean, I was getting into it. All right, so peace and blessings to each and every one of you. I am going to, and I agree with you, my sister Kanai Israel. She's like, I like that. So do I. Good stuff. Let's keep it coming, all right? Let's see what else you do, Jesse. But peace and blessings to each and every one of you. We've looked at Genesis, the first chapter, and we've discovered some things about Genesis. We've discovered some things about the way that the Most High works, the way that the Most High moves. This is the hidden treasure within the Tanakh. It's the way that he moves that we want. Remember Moshe? Moshe sought the ways of the Most High while the children sought the miracles. We want to make sure that we are forever that we have our hand on the pulse of what the Most High is doing, and we want to make sure that we flow together with what He is doing. We cooperate with you, Most High. We say yes to what you are doing in our lives, and we thank you for that. And so with that being the case, understand what the Most High did was He first of all created a habitation, and then He filled that habitation. In other words, it took planning. The Most High began to create this cyclical time, this cyclical reality that we are in, and He did it by means of organizing Himself. He had a plan, He had a purpose, and so therefore we should pursue every endeavor just the same, with a plan, with a purpose, and we should make room for the things of the Most High. We should make room for the Most High in our lives, which is really what the laws and statutes and the commandments are all about. Notice, if you will, that the Most High said, hey, all of these trees, yeah, these trees right here, yeah, they're for to be eaten, but hey, there's a tree over there that I don't want you to touch. That tree belongs to me. And it was a tree that would harm us. It was a tree that we were not ready for. It was the tree of the intimate knowledge and experience of good and evil. And of course, when Adam and Chava accepted from that tree, they weren't right since. They have had emotional issues that they've had to deal with and spiritual issues that they've had to deal with, even though they were yet able to seek the Most High and seek His ways. They hindered themselves in doing that because they became intimately aware of too many evils, things that could happen, things that, have the potential to happen. But, hey, the Most High didn't want them to eat of that tree just yet because they were not spiritually mature enough to do so. Looking then at what the Most High has done, He says, hey, laws, statutes, and commandments, I want you to understand that when you dress, just like there's a tree that I don't want you to touch, there's something else I want you to understand, that when it comes to you dressing, I need you to, once again, make a spot for me. So therefore, you take the fringes and you put them on the four corners of your garment. When it comes to your time, make a spot for me, and make sure that on the seventh day that you take away from everything that you do and you just focus on me. And by the way, when you're eating, I want you to make a spot for me, and I only want you to eat clean. I want you to eat those things that are going to be healthy for you, and those things that are scavengers of the earth and the garbage disposals of the earth, hey, I don't want you to touch them. In doing so, you honor me. And by the way, in your family, I want you to make a spot for me. Your firstborn is going to be special to me, and hey, when it comes to you doing my work, doing my will, always make a spot for me. And so with that, the Most High has given unto us the ability to walk with Him and the ability to walk as His agents of dominion here in the earth. But we have to make a place for Him in all that we do. And as well, we be like Him. We're being like Him when we plan first. And then we fill that area that we've planned for with what He desires. In other words, we make the habitation come first, and then we fill the habitation. We are organized in what we do. We are structured in what we do because we are like the Most High. So, my sister Soprano Jessie, definitely. She says that sounds like a song in the making. So I want to say to each and every one of you, peace and blessings to you. May the Most High smile upon you. I give to you my love and appreciation for your time and your attention. And thank you very much, daughter of Almighty Elohim, daughter of Almighty God. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, Soprano Jessie. Thank you, my sister Jacqueline E. Buggs. Thank you, Kenaya Israel. Thank you, George Evans. Thank you, Josh and Penny. Hope you are feeling better and better, Penny. We love you. We love you. We love you. And as well, my brother Bergen Paris from another mother. Thank you. Hope that you are blessed as well, my brother George Evans. And did I miss anybody? No, I did not. No, I did not. So peace and blessings to each and every one of you. May the Most High smile upon you. EJ Love, I miss EJ Love. Lord to the have mercy. May the Most High bless you as well. I'm glad that you are here as well. I'm going to say to each and every one, I think we did F in silly. Peace and blessings to you as well. Glad that you were here. James Hardy, glad that you were here. And I think now that's everybody. All right. Okay, so peace and blessings to you. May the Most High smile upon you. You know what? We're out of here. Shalom. Yah willing, Shabbat morning coffee.